it in now, it's time to begin. We're gonna get it started. Just believe in your dream and you know you can be anything you want it.
Hi guys, what's going on? I'm the Startup Chauffeur and I interview inspiring startup founders. You ask questions, they answer them. Today I'm joined by Polina Montano, co-founder of Job Today. Polina, your elevator pitch starts right now.
Hi everyone, Job Today is a unique hiring solution which connects millions of young people to open vacancies at local businesses around them, bringing hiring online for the first time ever for casual jobs. So basically, we are changing the way how young people are finding jobs.
Polina, you secured 16 million extension to your Series B. Can you give entrepreneurs out there a tip when it comes to funding?
I think it's very important to pick the right investor for your company. Clearly, there are different ways and means to find capital. There are business angels, there are venture capital money, there is private equity. So really consider carefully which way you want to go about. And it's also very important to pick the investor who is sharing your vision and who is sharing your strategy, who is with you on that dream you want to build. Don't go for an investor who would only bring you money, because trust me, if idea is good, money is relatively easy to find. What's really important is to get someone on board with whom you can actually build that dream together.
So now you're an often booked speaker on conferences such as NOAA and Web Summit. How did that come about and how did you meet Al Gore? I
think it's not about me, our presence on conference. I think it's really more about Jobs Today mission and how much interest there is out there for what we do. The topic which is very popular right now, and rightly so, it's future of work. As many people are asking themselves how the future of work will look, how our labor market will be impacted by technology. And in this context, Job Today gets invited to those conferences to speak about us, about how we help young people find their first jobs, and how we see this future of work looking in the next number of years, and also how we will be contributing to it. How I met Al Gore, it's also more or less in the same key, is since Job Today is active in helping young people find jobs, we are also contributing to the future of work being a better and a nicer place for everyone. So basically, Al Gore is very interested in all business projects which are contributing to sustainability, and that was the main setting and main reason for our encounter. He is absolutely an amazing person. You know, this type of people who just energize the room just by being there, just being present. He doesn't necessarily have to tell anything inspiring to inspire you in person, but just by being there, he just loads the room with great energy. I didn't quite expect the level of interest he showed in what we do.
Oh, okay.
Because he he seemed to know a lot about the industry. He seemed to know a lot about what we do. He seemed to be genuinely interested and supportive, and that, of course, clearly is very, very inspiring.
Let's get straight to the questions.
Okay, so off we go. Question number 1. Are you planning to expand to other European countries, or do you want to increase your brand awareness in UK first? #askfounders. The company was born with a global ambition. So Job Today is building the most popular social hiring platform in the world. But at the moment, we are heads down executing on our main markets, which is UK and Spain. So yes, we would like to first secure our positions in our main markets before we could bring the joy of instant hiring to more countries in Europe. What is the main difference between the Job Today app and the other already existing recruiting platforms? What brings big companies such as Costa Coffee to use this app for their recruitment process over others? #askfounders. It's my favorite question in the world, and I just wanted to say thank you for asking me that. What is so unique about Job Today is the fact that we are connecting two very unique audiences. On one side, a very young audience of job seekers, and our audience is really incredibly young. Over 70% of them is under 35 years of age. On the other side, what we bring online is jobs at local businesses and small SMB companies, small and medium business, moms and pop stores. With SMB companies mostly in service industry, they're not used to use online solutions to publish their vacancies. So what they do, they put just a paper in a window saying staff wanted, or they go through referrals, or they use spontaneous walk-ins who just drop in a store. And what happens is those local vacancies remain invisible to the large audience of young job seekers for whom obviously it's natural to look for jobs online and preferably on mobile. What Job Today is doing and what makes us so special, we are bridging that gap by connecting this young audience to this local vacancies and local businesses, and just by making this connection happen. How can you scale up when there are so many and different regulations about employment contracts? Hashtag #AskFounders. We are the platform where young people find those jobs. Today, we are not a part of a process where we help either employers or job seekers with the contracts. It definitely will come in the future. It's one of the services we are considering. But today, our job stops from the moment when a candidate finds a cool job which he's interested in, and basically it's between the company and the candidate to agree on conditions and to sort out the contract details. So at the moment, we are just not a part of it yet. Therefore, good thing in this, it doesn't stop us from growing, and we don't see it as a hassle. How did you initially solve the chicken and egg problem? For example, having enough companies post jobs and employ people in order to ensure applicants land the job within 24 hours. How big of a challenge is keeping this efficiency still now when you have reached critical mass? Well, it's a really good question. Hashtag #AskFounders. Do you first get companies or do you first go and get job seekers? The answer is actually you have to get both. And the whole secret of building a marketplace, it's really about constantly balancing and finding this balance between having enough of supply and enough of demand, and make sure people on both sides of the equation find value on the platform. Which marketing channels did we use? I believe we used all of them. As you start, some marketing channels might be more important for you than others. So definitely online acquisition was one of our main tools in our first days for both candidates and companies. And in terms of how do you attract companies, we did use telesales, and we did use offline campaigns, such as street campaigns, to basically just go out there and reach out to employers and to tell them about your product and to convince them to advertise on your app. But once again, marketing is a little bit like a DJ pult, where it has lots of different tools at your disposal. And what you will find out is as your company grows, some of those tools become more important than others, but they are all important, and there is not like one channel does it all. The art lies in using all of those channels in the right moment to reach your goals as a company. How to make sure your team embodies your business values and vision. Hashtag #AskFounders. When you are a startup and when you are building your dream or your project, essentially you are creating something new. You are building something from scratch. And you only can do that, and you only can build that dream if whatever team you have with you on that project, if everybody is fully on board and we are all trying to build essentially that same thing you envisioned when you started the company. So in Job Today, I guess it's all about communication. It's all about explaining people. Yes, we might be a small team, but yes, we set the goal to change how hiring is done in this world. And that's what we are working on. It's a big objective. We see it happening already now, and it's really important to keep everybody on the team aligned on that. I think it's important for a team to be more than just co-workers. I think for a team to be a team, it's really important also to connect on a personal level, and that's why you also do many things as a team building. In our case, people actually or they watch movies sometimes, or people play some online games. Working for a startup or building something which doesn't exist before, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. People simply cannot do that unless they're motivated and unless they believe in what we're building. So having a great company culture when you work together and you know each other not only as colleagues, but also as people, as individuals, as friends, clearly helps us to keep it together. Now our job today is active in a number of markets. So you have part of the people working in Luxembourg, part is in UK, part is in Spain. The moment when you work within distributed teams, it's always very challenging to keep this company culture together. And communication, which in the beginning of your journey seems like the easiest things to do, because of course everybody knows what we are doing. Of course everybody knows why we are doing it for. The moment when you work with different offices which are not located in the same country, it actually becomes something on which you have to consciously work, because it's not going to happen by itself. To keep a company culture, keep talking, keep doing things together, it's definitely critical for being successful. What has been the biggest struggle moment of Job Today journey so far? And what could other founders learn from it? There's going to be so many bright ideas, and you will be working on this dream, which is your project, your dream, something you absolutely want to make happen. And sometimes those bright ideas we don't necessarily get implemented in the right way. So one of the biggest challenges for startups, and also for Job Today, is how do you make sure that something which was initially supposed to look like white dove, and the end of a process doesn't look like green frog. And that's something like, how do you go about implementation, and how do you make sure implementation actually reflects and lives up to your expectations when you started your project? What did we learn from it in Job Today? We learned that even if you are a creative company, young company, an ambitious company, you do need to communicate, and there has to be structure in your business processes. By structure, I mean clearly explain to your team members what you need to happen, when it needs to happen, who is responsible for what, and why to begin with, why we are doing that. So really it comes down to two elements which we learned as a company. I hope we did, certainly. It's basically communication and making sure everybody on the team is on board with what you are doing, and structure. Make sure people know what is expected of them. They have tools which we need to make it happen, and everybody knows by when we have to deliver what we have to deliver. So these two elements for us were definitely something we learned in the last year.
Now is your chance, Polina. What message do you want to get out there?
If you know anyone who is looking for a first job, please refer them to use Job Today. Thank you.
We reached the end of the interview. Thank you very much for sharing your questions. Make sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to the Startup Chauffeur YouTube channel. Remember, you ask questions, they answer them.